very much. Representative Grothman.
Thank you. We stand here today. I'd like to thank Congresswoman Salazar for introducing this bill. In my opinion, as I go through all the bills we've talked about in Congress so far this session, this is the most important bill. And I say that because we've heard the statistics today of over 1/3 of the young people actually think socialism and maybe Marxism isn't that bad. And as somebody else here pointed out, a Soviet defector said that most of the KGB money spent in this country was spent to change America's view of itself. In other words, they were going to conquer this country not with ships or tanks from abroad, they were going to conquer it from within. And when you see 30% of the population wanting or not understanding what is wrong with a country like Cuba, you realize we are losing that war. Every American child should know that communism is, they dislike the churches. They dislike God. The reason they don't like God is because they feel that churches create a moral background in which people will be reluctant to kill people if the government calls upon them to kill people. People have to know you restrict travel in communism. You restrict information. And there are all sorts of people out there which kind of have the heart of a communist, we know right now today, who do want to restrict information, right? And our ears should perk up. Wait a minute, we got people out here who think the way for America to go forward is to restrict information. They obviously want to abolish ownership of things. Karl Marx was very anti-family. Sometimes they haven't got all the way there, but we have to be on the lookout for that. It is very scary when organizations founded by Marxists are able to attract politicians from Congress to stand with them. That's a big danger sign. And of course, ultimately, after you destroy the churches or take over the churches, after you restrict travel, after you restrict the flow of information, finally, in some cases, communism leads to mass murder. And every American child should understand what happened in Red China, in Ukraine, in Russia, in Cambodia, in Cuba. Every American child should know that, but they don't know it. So I'm glad we have this bill. I hope every state around the country does what they can to educate their young children about what will happen to religion, what will happen to freedom of children, freedom of religion, what will happen, their goal for the family and how they want to have, the children raised more and more by the government and less by the family. So I hope this bill moves forth, and I hope state legislators around the country are paying attention to this bill, and they do what they do in Florida and make sure every American child knows what Marxism and communism is about. Thank you, Congresswoman Salazar, and we hope in the near future we get this bill.